You did me a favor, you shit. Got rid of my baggage. Made me lean like before. Okay, what you gotta do to make it right? To get everything back. Sosa! That prick gotta die! Gonna bring out a war against that fuck! Anybody who tried to work with him, fuck them all! You need a fucking armor, you can take me! I'll play with you.
You wanna play rough? Say hello to my little friend! Your horse? Go! Go!
Welcome to Scarface, The World Is Yours, a game so old you probably never heard about it if you never touched a PlayStation 2. It was also during the time where instead of the local trend that is turning video games into movies, it was the polar opposite. Scarface is a movie about a Cuban named Tony Montana who went through the hardships of becoming the next most successful drug dealer, rising to the top and having his own mansion until he fucked up for one job, killed his best friend, and kissed his sister. Then his mansion was filled to the brim with his employer's military guys and police destroying everything he built. In the game, it takes 5 minutes before he is killed, and the plot twist was, what if Tony decided to just turn around and survive the whole mansion raid? Well, my friends, that is the whole plot of the game. You are Tony Montana, who is trying to take everything you lost and even expand, and you have two most important things, your word and your balls. And much like every other criminal game, you start flat broke and having just one simple car to go by. You need to find ways to make money, because in Tony's word,
this country, you gotta make the money first. Then when you get the money, you get the power. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman. That's why you gotta make your own moves.
And the way to make money in this game? Drug deal.
I know this town better than anyone. I get the shit, you sell it. I collect my cut, you keep yours.
Okay, you've got a deal. What do you go by?
Montana, but you can call me Tony, okay, pussycat?
The game will teach you how to make drug deals in the beginning and give you a couple of starting grams. But then you're gonna also enter a penthouse and start shooting a bunch of bad guys and then steal a safe truck to basically get yourself a good 50 grand starting cash to start up your empire. The first step of taking over and expanding is pretty much purchasing fronts or properties in this case, which is simply a property that will lend you ways to distribute your drugs in more effective ways once you take over the entire district.
I always wanted to own my own drive-in, you know? This is America. I can sit in my car and watch Bogart on the big screen. I got the catch, how much?
It's all yours, man, but you gotta deal with these punk-ass kids who've taken over the lot.
You need to, first, before you even purchase the front, you need to do a little mission that they need to do before they actually go out of business. And then once you finish this entire mission, you can pretty much just purchase the property itself, depending on how much it costs. These missions can go anywhere from, simply killing someone, or delivering something, or taking over something, or retrieving something back, to outright protecting a boat, collecting shark fins while you are in a helicopter with a fucking machine gun. Speaking of guns, Let's talk about it. You start with the basics, a nice little weather pistol, a nice little SMG, and a shotgun, which is probably your best friend until you get the AK-47s and or the best weapon in the entire game, the little friend. No, not that little friend, this little friend. Each and every single weapon can be upgraded to have a couple more interesting stuff, like the pistols having silencers to reduce the attention of the cops coming at you, the SMGs having more extended mags and also have the ability to silencers as well, the AK-47 having an underbarrel shotgun so that you don't have to use the shotgun as a secondary weapon and just have two guns in one slot, the little friend, which also can be upgraded with a grenade launcher to basically give the exact same gun that you've had in the first 5 minutes of the game. But these weapons and upgrades will take time, as you need to upgrade your reputation level to unlock such upgrades themselves. So you're gonna have to do a little bit more than just, owning the properties. Scarface is the only game in the entire video game industry where being a money spending spree is actually beneficial for you. Because with more and more purchases you unlock through the exotics and vehicles and all that, you also gain reputation points from just purchasing them. So you could actually level up your reputation level just by being a hungry money spending spree. I actually did not even have to take over the first or the second territories around the Miami until I reached the fourth or fifth level of just my reputation. Though if you want to progress the story, this is where things simply as far as goes. You need to take over the territory and then do a couple of missions that will lend you more ways to make more money, and then pretty much just keep doing the same thing until you take over all of Miami. Once you take over all the fronts in the first district, you basically have the ability to take over a storehouse, which is mandatory, and taking over a storehouse will lend you to the best way to make money in the entire game. Drug distribution. Yeah. The drug deals that you used to do back then, where you basically earn something that was about 10 grand or less, depending on how good you managed to fill up that circle meter, you basically gonna need to do more legit ones where you basically have to buy keys. And buying keys is essential to then deliver to your storehouse, which you can distribute all around the fronts that you have purchased. You can also just do the more simpler thing and obviously take thousands and thousands of grams, that you from small dealers to pretty much sell them at any fronts. But that's not going to help you as much as having big giant keys to go ahead and distribute through all your fronts and make you millions and millions of dollars. Because holy fuck, does things start to get more and more expensive as you go throughout the game. You start from purchasing things that are expensive as $100,000 to $500,000, which you can make by doing a couple of missions or just a couple of drug deals there and there, to outright having to do literal runs throughout Miami to get you $20 million so you can buy one expensive unique collection.
Let's do this, man. Piece of shit.
Watch yourself, shithead.
Now let's talk about Tony. Tony basically has a biggest, most important thing in the entire game, and that is his balls. You acquire more balls, you basically fill up a meter, which then you can use to rage and basically have unlimited ammo, auto aim like a motherfucker, and also regenerative health if you're pretty much low in health, just from each and every single kill. Which also makes him very, very powerful when it comes to hundreds and hundreds of guys that you're going to be fighting. And these guys are not a joke. The damage is equivalent to the damage of your own guns as well, which means if you're using a little friend, then if they're also using a little friend, you pretty much can get shot in 5 to 6 shots, which is why their accuracy can suck ass if you're just running around. Or better yet, just try and shoot them from a distance and try to prevent them from shooting first, which is also just a more simpler way. The There's two ways of shooting. You can use the normal shooting like I did, or you can use the skilled shooting where you simply aim and you will have to either shoot in the head if you want more balls, or you can try and shoot for a more harder spot like the nuts, right and left nut, to acquire more and more balls. But you can also try and do it without having to aim, but just keep running around and shooting, and doing so will acquire you more balls and fill up that range meter more better. Now obviously balls is very important, because once you get enough balls you could actually acquire women. Yeah, you can have pressing the T button to interact with a certain female that will then join your mansion and be chilling there for the entire time. But you will benefit because this increases your health, this increases your stamina, and this also increases your balls. Your vehicles are self-explanatory, but there's a couple things I want to mention. Is that in the higher reputation levels, you will actually get a much better car, which you can use to your drug distribution. Yeah, you can use any car you want in your drug distribution missions, and I would suggest something that is incredibly fast and also a bit more armored, because you're gonna get attacked either by goons trying to run over your car and destroy you, or goons trying to take over your business, which is simply, you just need to upgrade your little fronts with guards, security cameras, and just repair it if it really went to shit, which can get expensive, but not as expensive as selling the drugs themselves. For a 2000 game, this game is pretty much fun. If you're looking for a 10-hour just shootsy blatsy, running around, driving around, fast cars and all that, and acquire it really fast. There's nothing really grindy much about it. The only thing that's like really grindy is just having to do distribution missions, but that's very simple because it's all really luck based. And as you climb up the higher ranks, you can easily just get like 30 keys, which is pretty much the maximum. But there is some missions that can and will get a little bit of tedious, because all of the above is basically done by a simple interaction of a circle meter. Basically, everything you're going to do in the entire game is done by a circle meter, and you're going to have to fill that circle meter if you want the best benefit, or if you fill it in half where it's like the much lesser gray area, then you pretty much can just, get away with something benefits you but not full of benefit. You do not want to get it on the yellow and black, because that will actually fail and fuck up. The only time when this is acceptable is when it's in the bank. Which, by the way, you can't just have money in your pocket or drugs in your pocket all the time. You're gonna need to put them somewhere, or else if you die, you lose them all completely. So you go to the bank, or you go to your front to, first and foremost, sell the drugs in your pocket, and the money, you put it in your bank. But it's not good money, it's dirty money, so you're gonna need to launder it, and this is where things require you to simply fill a circle to get the lowest percentage of that money being taken away from you, for laundering reasons. If you obviously fuck it up, you'll have the highest percentage being taken away from you just to launder your money. And the same thing goes for every single interaction, no matter what you do. As you progress, obviously, the missions get harder and harder, and you just need to be a bit more careful. The only times where it becomes more and more tedious, where it's simply having to protect something, because everything else around you is more fragile than you are. But if you know what you're doing, it won't be much of a problem. Like I said, this is pretty much a 10-hour game. The only time where I had the worst time of this game was when having to, defuse a couple of bombs from a freighter, otherwise that bomb explodes, and it's obviously just a tiniest bar that I have to succeed. Everywhere else is just a yellow and black with pretty much just a nice little explosion. And then at the end of the mission, you get to kill Sosa and get to know why he tried to kill you.
When you move 400 kilos a month, it's imperative that you do kill children.
What if Tony Montana was made in 2025?
Instead of the hardcore yayo he'll be gathering, we would just make a fucking soda company. Take over gamer subs. Make the yayo flavor in it. By the way, you can't kill civilians, which is very funny. Tony would not kill any kind of civilians because it would make him more like a cockroach, but would gladly distribute all kinds of hardcore drugs around Miami just for the sake of money. This game is fun, and this game is old. So if you like an old game and you want to play it, you're gonna have to find not so legitimate ways to play it. I hope you enjoyed today's video. It was really nice making this video, and yeah, hope you guys stick around for more videos.
You know, the world is yours, Chico, and everything in it. So say goodnight to the bad guy.